Okay, so I just saw this girl from my gym who posts like half content, say, stay out of my DMs and honor your relationship. Like, ma'am, you post your silicone meat bags every day in a half squat to camera, camel clinched, tighter than a vice grip at a tractor pull, and you're gonna preach stay out of my DMs and honor your relationship? Like, you literally angle that shot like it was directed by and captioned it like shoulder pump. No one's looking at your delts. We're looking at your soul leaking out of your front butt, dude. So yes, men need to respect their relationships. But you have your sin slot whistling like a kettle, and somehow you're still wondering why the tea's hot? Be so for real.
I don't care. I don't care.
You should care, because while you were busy mocking our sons, brothers, and fathers, one man has taken his life. 600,000 men a year, 58,000 men a month, 14,000 men a week, 2,000 men a day, 86 men an hour, 80% of deaths, 4 times the number of women. You should care if you care about world peace, because men make up for 95% of Nobel Peace Prize winners. You should care if you care about freedom, because 82% of active duty military members are men. You should care if you care about dangerous jobs getting done, because 93% of those jobs are held by men. You should care if you care about housing, because over 90% of construction workers are men. You should care if you care about innovation, because men start 2/3 of businesses worldwide. You should care if you care about art, because 87% of pieces in national art museums are created by men. You should care if you care about safety, because over 90% of firefighters, 70% of police officers, and 75% of EMTs are men. You should care if you care about health, because 62% of doctors are men. You should care if you care about women, because mothers report better mental health with husbands in the home. You should care if you care about children, because children with fathers in the home score higher on IQ tests, lower rates of anxiety and depression, lower rates of behavioral issues. You should care if you care about children, because children without fathers in the home are 4 times more likely to experience poverty and substance abuse issues, 2 times more likely to drop out of school, and 7 times more likely to be involved in criminal behavior. You should care, because men historically are examples of resilience, but you do not care, because you do not acknowledge what difficulties they stand resiliently overcoming. You do not care because you believe your problems are diminished by acknowledging it exists in others. You do not care because you need to diminish masculinity to make yourself feel feminine. But men's mental health issues do not go away by mocking it, and the beauty of masculinity does not turn ugly by ignoring it. Men are taught that their problems do not matter, but they do not turn and apply that to yours. In fact, resilience gives them invisible strength to carry the world's problems or child's pain. You don't need to post an Instagram story with bright colors to make the men in your life step off the ledge. Acknowledge the weight that they are holding and lend a hand, and share a thank you for the invisible strength holding their wives and children above the pains of the world. And for once, tell them you care. Because in a society where no one cares, they need to know we care. Because after I stop recording, 2 men have taken their life.
I listened to you say all that, but it didn't sound like you said anything about a man spoiling them with his money and busting his behind and essentially working his behind off for her enjoyment.
Yeah, a lot of people every day that ask me why I'm single and how I've been single for so long. The truth is, even when I meet somebody and I give them my Instagram, because nobody asks for numbers anymore, I give them my Instagram and they add me right in front of me, and then they get mad when they see how many followers I have. They see I have about 1 million followers and they just go, all right, bet, and they just walk away and I never hear from them again. So that's how dating is going. Okay, bye.
Another woman said that she thought her new husband was unattractive because he was bald. But meanwhile, she had a wig on. But if he said, you're bald, you're bald. You're wearing a wig because you're bald. I like myself, so I just stay bald. But you don't like yourself, so you act like you not bald. Only difference is I own it and you hide it.
Okay, well, you keep saying, he keeps saying that he thinks there's somebody else, pretty much, that I'm giving my attention to someone else.
And what, you're not giving it to me.
But what I was trying to speak to him about and explain is the power of law of attraction.
That's not what you're trying to, manifestation.
Yeah, that like
law of attraction does not fit here.
When you think about things over and over again, you think them into existence. So if he keeps thinking like my wife is talking to someone else, yeah, that's what you're doing.
No. So what you're saying to me is if I think enough that you are giving your attention to somebody else, you're going to magically be with somebody else.
And that would be your fault. Like you would think.
Oh, that would be my fault. Yeah. That you end up in somebody else's bedroom because I thought it.
No, but I'm saying you. I want you to understand.
I want you to understand just how dumb that sounds, because what you're basically saying is if you decide to go astray, it's because I thought about it.
Yes, because you keep thinking about it.
No, that is the world's excuse.
No, like this should make you feel better that you could change. You have the power to change it in yourself.
No.
Yeah.
No. Go. If you want to go.
No, see, you're doing it again. You're speaking.
If you want to go, go.
Do y'all even want my commentary on this one? Open and shut. I know this is a joke. So now that y'all are at the bar watching something that you like, Love Island in this case, then all of a sudden it's okay.
24 versus 63. Dating men. What's the difference? As a 37-year-old woman. For all the people who don't know, about a month ago, I was in the grocery store, my local grocery store, just getting some chicken. And I was really hungry, so I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up passing this very attractive man. I did not and could not tell you how old he was. And I find that interesting because I'm pretty good at, like, pinpointing people's age roughly. But either way, I didn't really pay attention to him in the grocery store because I was really hungry. And we ended up driving in the same direction, and he pulled up next to me at a stoplight and asked me for my number. And I didn't have a lot of time to say no, so I was like, sure. Texted me and was like, that was new for me. And I was like, oh, same. What a fun, weird little incident. And we ended up going to get coffee, which was my suggestion, because I actually like coffee dates. That way, if you don't enjoy the person, you can get out of it really quickly. And I found out he was 24 and a professional baseball player. And I was like, oh no, I don't know how this is gonna go. So we ended up having coffee one day, and then the next day we saw movies together, and everything was great. But he travels every other week for work because of baseball, and then he would just like text me updates of his life, reach out and say hey, but after that it was like no effort to see me again. And I was like, that's so odd. Is this just like a 24-year-old thing, or is this like, what is this? So ultimately, that's not going to go anywhere because it's just like, it was all the effort and then none of the effort. And I just still don't really get, I'm like, I don't need a pen pal. But this is already really long, so stay tuned for part 2, and I'll tell you about the date with the 63-year-old man. So anyways, dating tips. There's not tips. These aren't tips. These are just my experiences. And if you have them, share. Let's compare notes.
At 37, you're asking this question? At 37, you're confused. He's 24, man. He's a professional baseball player. I'm trying not to be rude, but he's 24. He's a professional baseball player. Not to mention when he was in college, he was probably doing some stuff too. What do you think is... He's 24. He's 24. He's baseball.
But just because a girl's at the bar doesn't mean that automatically I can just go up to her. You have to be able to like read the signs, catch the vibe. Is she completely like turned towards her friend with her arms crossed and they're sitting at the bar? Then you probably shouldn't approach them, especially if you're coming up behind them. The amount of people that have come up to us from behind and it's like,
no, literally.
Like, where'd you come from?
You're like so unprepared.
Like, if we've made eye contact a few times, I smiled at you, there's been some kind of communication, then you should be able to come up to me at the bar.
Making eye contact, I think, is like such a game changer. Literal hint to approach me. Especially if the eye contact is like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then maybe we look away and then like we look at each other again. Like, you do not need me to be waving you down for you to come over or smiling like at you. We do not really need to go further than making eye contact longer than 3 seconds. That is the way of us saying, approach us. Okay, maybe if a girl is making eye contact with you and then you make eye contact with her and she looks away, yeah, she's not interested. But if a girl is looking at you and you guys keep making eye contact, maybe she's like lingering around you, like you're all in.
And this might be gibberish to the guy. Like for girls, this makes so much sense.
One dude said men are leaving the dating scene for this exact reason. Another guy says y'all are going to have to put a little bit more effort into y'all's hints besides ambiguous eye contact. Back in the Victorian era, women used to drop handkerchiefs so the man they wanted would pick them up and politely return it. Then they would start talking. They gonna have to, because this ambiguous eye stuff, that's really, honestly and truly, that is a lack of effort. It really is. You guys gotta, just like y'all want men to start doing more, y'all gotta start doing more.
Okay, look, I know I be on here cracking jokes from time to time, but this is not one of those times. Quite frankly, I am hilarious, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, fellas, listen. Sun's out. Okay? Sun's out, buns out. So what I'm saying that to say, this is not the season to be tricked out of your position. Okay, you see a woman, she's attractive, whatever, and you are growing, you are building, you are elevating, you are chasing your purpose as you should. I love that for you. But listen to me, most women are one emotional decision away from destroying your life. Okay, so analyze this woman, and I mean this so much. If you don't think you gotta listen to women, if you don't believe nothing else I say, right? During the conversation with this woman, just pay attention, shut up and just listen for a minute. If she is vindictive, if she is manipulative, if she likes get back, if she hates every single one of her exes that she's ever been with, right? Or she tells you how all her friends are trash, everybody's hating on her. I promise you, from the bottom of my soul, you will be the next victim. And you think that I'm playing, but if someone possesses those characteristic traits, they have an envious spirit, a mean spirit, a vindictive spirit, you will be the next victim. You ain't all of that. Like, you might be really him, but I'm saying to a person who is built like that, you will be the next victim. Now, of course, everybody's nice to you in the honeymoon phase, so she might be, she simultaneously gashes you up, but she's putting down everybody else. It is only because you are serving her a purpose in that moment. Oh, saying that to say this, if this is your season, you're on it. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I'm telling you, do not be tricked out of your position this season for no body type, for no coochie cat, none of that. Stay hungry, never thirsty.
Now, I know you guys love to call me a pick-me, but please hear me out. Why is it when I see men post their girlfriends, they'll post their girlfriend and it'll be like, this is why I'll never cheat. And then it'll be a slide of the girlfriend, whatever pose she does, why are the comments all the women attacking her? And then aren't you the same women that go, men never post us. Men never post us. We're girls, women empowerment. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We were all rooting for you. It pisses me off that women do this, because now this is the reason why people don't show off their partners. Because you guys are evil and cruel. But let it be a toxic couple and you guys are up their ass following everything that they do. Eating it up like little rats and hyenas. Clock it. Make it make sense. Are you guys really girls? Because you're not. Just because the girl doesn't look to your liking and because she's not the way you think she's supposed to be, doesn't mean she's not beautiful to him. Not every girl wants to look the same. Not every girl wants to be full of makeup, have lip fillers, and look, not saying that's a bad thing, but a lot of y'all look the same. And when I see some of these girls that guys share pictures of, they're natural women, and then you guys get all mad and judge them, and she's not even all that. She's not even a 10. She's not even a baddie. Maybe those women don't want to be baddies. Maybe they just want to be a beautiful girlfriend. I don't want to be a baddie. I just want to be Taylor. I just want to be me. Cute little me. Obnoxious little me. I don't want to be no damn baddie. Too much work. I just want to be me, where I could be a tomboy some days, chilling one day, cool one day. I don't want to do all that. But my whole video, my whole point is, the way people crucify people in relationships is crazy. Like, I even have this one girl that I love to follow, and she followed me back and I fangirled. I see her comment sometimes. She'll be like, here's the dinner I cooked as a wife, and she'll do this. And women are like, yeah, look at you, he this and that. And I'm like, why are you guys like that? You're upset that you have nobody to cook for? You're upset that you got to use your rose toy until it electrocutes your beam? Is that what you're upset about? Because you have to cry yourself to sleep, and because she has a meal that she could prepare for her man? Maybe that's why you don't have a man. Now, I know I'm single, but I don't care about what other people do in relationships. I'm not bitter. I love to see people in relationships, and I love to see women and men single and happy. Whatever floats your boat and makes you happy and jive and live in, I'm here for it. But I don't rain on people's parades for no reason. Like, if I ever make videos critiquing people, it's because they're doing dumb shit. I'm not going to get mad at a man posting his girl. So the next time you sit there and go, why don't men post us? Why don't they post us? Are you rats even supporting it? No, you're not. Shh.
Rose toy until it electrocutes you is a crazy statement. It's a crazy, insane statement and disrespectful.
On the flip side, men have the ability to be the authority, the leaders, the decision makers, and with that comes the fact that you don't get to be delusional. You don't get to live in a life of fantasy, and there's a lot of authority and a lot of pressure to be a certain caliber in this society. And I think we see men shrinking. We see men shrinking to that calling, saying, I don't want to do that. So you see an overly feminine group of men complaining and continuing to go on and on about how it's not fair. But the reality is, men who are willing to step into these roles, men who are willing to work by the sweat of their brow, men who are willing to do the purpose that God put them on this earth for, don't complain about these things.
No, I don't want to do it for you. Well, you feminine. No, I'm not. I don't want to do it for you. I don't want to be a decision maker and a leader for you. If a man said, well, essentially what you said in previous videos is what a man gets to be. I get to be delusional because I'm a female. No, you don't. You do not. You do not get to live through life and float through life delusionally. Absolutely not. That's not that. I don't know where you guys are getting that from. That you don't have any responsibility. That you guys don't. Well, I don't have as much as the man. Okay, maybe you don't have as much as the man, but you have a huge responsibility. And that doesn't mean that you just carefree. If a man is willing to work by the sweat of his brow, right, okay, fine. He has to work hard to get what he needs to get, and he has to prove himself. Okay. But then when he proves himself, he's looking for a woman to say, this is what I see what you're doing. I'm following that. Period. We're not going back and forth. This is the decision making that I'm doing. I need you to listen. Come out of delusional land. Come out of fantasy land. Stop having your heads all in the clouds. Come out of there. I need you to do X, Y, and Z in order for us to take care of this house. Well, I don't want to do that. All I want to do is be a passionate princess. All I want to be is taken care of. I want to go here. I want to go shopping. I want to go to this place and that place. No, you have a responsibility as well.
Relationship question for straight men. Hypothetically, if you're in a relationship, what is the most important thing to you of these three? A, that she is a great cook and keeps the house spotless. B, that she takes great care of herself, always looks good, always smells good. Or C, just that she never turns you down.
What the hell? What the hell, Leontay? Did y'all, hold on. It's the fact that it's some parts to this when it should have been straight to the point. How he flew me to Miami and left me stranded with a $1,000 bill. And I don't want to hear that. Oh, she young. She got some learning to do. This why I don't like hop on like a trend when it come down to topics, because y'all always, women, y'all always prove men right. And what I mean by this, the way y'all act on TikTok is not how y'all act in real life. And I'm a woman, and I can speak on this. Just last week, y'all was talking about how y'all are afraid of men. Men don't protect you in no type of form or fashion. But my question is, why do so many men have access to you? That's why the men are looking like scratching their head like, okay, if y'all so afraid of us, why can I go on Hinge to find you? Why are you on dating apps? Like my homeboy, he go to Cash Cow in Dallas almost every weekend and can bring a broad home every night if he want to. And I'm speaking for myself. Because why am I so easy to access? That is how I know that some of y'all be capping with your talking points. And I just look at the video, I be like, she just lying. And I see through the rhetoric, because how you gonna listen to Shira 7 and then turn around and say you fear these? You can't sit up there and say, oh, I'm gonna take what I can from these. I'm gonna walk these like a dog. These niggas ain't got no mind control over me. Then turn around and say, oh my God, he dogged me out. I'm fearful of my life. Or this. Man, it don't make sense. Because at the end of the day, you still gonna have situations like this where you end up giving access to the wrong men. In order for men to really hear what y'all say and really know that y'all mean what y'all say, y'all gotta get off these dating apps. Stop putting yourselves in positions where you can attract these creeps. For example, I can't even find a picture, but just like the young man that all the women saying that they love because he speak, with, intelligence and this and that. And, they really, really love the way he talking, how he taking up for black women. But y'all wouldn't even date a dude with that looks like him. Y'all wouldn't. And stop lying, because y'all wouldn't. Because half of y'all all like the same. Y'all go out. Y'all want a certain type of to treat you a certain type of way. It don't work like that. So the question for me is, am I afraid of knife and get on here and say I'm afraid of this? I got some 555 that'll make them act right. But yes, do I make myself too available to some of the wrong? Hell yeah. And can I control that? Hell yeah. Every day you see stories like this and you trying to figure out, where are the women at that say that they afraid? Because obviously she was not afraid to fly to Miami to go see her. Have a good day.
Exactly. Shouldn't have been a whole lot of talking. Shouldn't have been a whole lot of rummaging around. But y'all keep on being out here acting irresponsible. And then when you get dogged out by a man that would do that. And by the way, this man sent her little $1,000 back. Essentially what happened really quickly was she was talking to a dude for a number of years, finally decided, hey, I'm gonna fly you out. Okay. So they get off the plane, they go out. Essentially what the problem ended up being is that she ran up the bill. I think she ran up the bill $600 or something like that for caviar. And then she ordered another $400, obviously, and some other stuff. And at that point in time, he got up and walked out. She was trying to call him, get in contact with him. Man didn't answer. So she was at the airport that night, I think, trying to get in touch with her parents and people she knew, trying to get a plane ticket home because he bought her a one-way flight in the first place. So when she got home, she decided she was going to blast him. And when you look in the comments of her videos, she had a lot of women in the comments talk about, what are you doing? This is so stupid of you to do this. Accountability. And by the way, the man saw this video as well and said, you know what? It wasn't even about the money. Let me go ahead and give you a little $1,000 back. It wasn't about the money. It's about how you was moving and acting out here. That's why I got up and left you. But he still made her whole in the end. That's what we be saying. How can y'all be so afraid of men, but y'all be out here running into the wrong dudes? The dudes that y'all are looking for and already backed up and said, you know what? You don't want to be a part of what I got going on. You don't want me to be a part of what you got going on. I'm backing up. But y'all find the dudes that will dog y'all out time and time again. Get online and complain about all men and keep on repeating the cycle. Good dudes inside chilling.
Men on dating apps are literally the most dramatic creatures alive. You breathe wrong and all of a sudden you're blocked, unmatched, voted off the damn island. All I said to this man was, hey, I don't really know you like that yet, so I don't really feel comfortable being on the phone. Blocked, unmatched, like I asked him to donate a kidney and the soul of his firstborn son. Sue me. They don't read bios. I could say I'm a part-time alien, full-time scammer. It's still gonna be WID. Sir, please use your brain. Don't even get me started on the conversations, or lack thereof. It's the same three things over and over and over and over. Good morning, beautiful. WID. How's your day? Are y'all all a part of some giant dusty-ass group chat and you just recycle the same plays over and over again? Don't respond fast enough? Blocked. Don't flirt back right away? Unmatched. It's definitely giving fragile ego with Wi-Fi access. I'm not asking for, a handwritten poem and stand outside my window with the radio on your shoulder. Like, no, just maybe read the bio, say something interesting, ask a question that's not approved by the Department of Redundancy. Because at this point, I'm not even dating. I'm doing tech support for emotionally unstable men with profile pics from 2015.
So if you've ever been blocked for having a boundary, join the club. We meet on Wednesdays. We like to laugh over the screenshots.
I'm going to do the same thing, because if I'm trying to get to know you and I'm trying to talk to you, I'm not trying to waste time. And that's exactly what it sounds like you're doing. Wasting time. I don't feel comfortable being on the phone with you yet. What are we doing? What are we doing here? So you want to waste time, and then eventually you want to waste money and resources. Blocked and unmatched.
So what you're saying is that you would much rather have a woman who is quiet and who does not have, I don't know, intellect, than someone who is smart and successful and is going to push you and is not just going to accept what you say is what is true. A lot of men will be like, I don't want an argumentative woman. We're not argumentative. We're just intellectual. And if you can't be at our level and have intellectual conversations with us, and that doesn't engage you, and that doesn't make you feel like you're a better person, and that you and your partner can have really good conversations, you're looking for someone who just sits there and smiles and looks pretty. That is an insult to women and an insult to men. It's an insult to women because you're looking at a woman like she shouldn't be smart. She shouldn't be educated. She shouldn't have her own opinions. She should just sit there and look pretty, for me. And it's an insult to men because it shows your lack of intellect and education. So I hope that helps.
I like this comment here. John Tollin says, I sort of think you're missing the boat on purpose, maybe because of views. Career success has nothing to do with a human being's intelligence, creativity, or insightfulness. Career is just something that someone does. It doesn't define us or add value. When a man is selecting a partner, a woman could be a nuclear physicist or a barista. What matters to the man is the love between them. Do you really think there is a healthy man out there that thinks, wow, she's a doctor. That's what I've been looking for. Exactly. Where do you think the honey-do list came from? If men aren't listening to women, if women have no say, if women are just sitting there being quiet, where do you think happy wife, happy life came from? If women are just sitting in the home being quiet, it's because they're not. They're not at all. They're speaking. They have control over the house, substantial control. A man is actually listening and trying to do what? Make his wife happy. That should tell you right there that men don't want that. They just don't want you to be contentious. They just want to know whenever we've talked about, hashed out a plan and we go forward, you're not always going to, on every single point, what about that? Well, look at that's questioning every step of leadership versus trusting. That makes life and you hard to deal with.
I want to know what you guys think about this, because for me, I've had to abandon like the fairy tale type love. And I think a lot of women in our community, that's something that holds us back, is like we want this fairy tale type love. As an imperfect person, expecting a fairy tale type love when, you know, I'm going to fall short of even delivering that myself. You know, and just recognizing that it's two imperfect people coming together to create and build something that neither one of them have probably ever seen or witnessed before. You know, and we know, like, when constructing a home, you know, you find the plot of land that you want to build on, you have to get it inspected. Like, it takes work. Building those blocks, making sure that you're laying down a stable foundation, it takes work. You got to get in there and you have to get your hands dirty. And I feel like a lot of women in our community want a finished product. You know, and then on the opposite side, sometimes men want a finished product. You know,
I could have a boyfriend, but then how am I going to explain to him that I eat a whole rotisserie chicken and loaded baked potato salad in bed? Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Woman said, girl, men don't care. They literally eat meat and potatoes or like literally nothing every day.
So to the women that are maddest that I'm talking about this severity and the importance of men's mental health, I'm going to read you to filth for a second. One, you need to heal from whatever happened to you as a child, because it's not every man's fault what happened to you. Even if you were surrounded by plenty of terrible men, that still does not justify you hating an entire gender based on what happened to you. Two, you're toxic as the next part is completely separate from the first one. But you might just be toxic as you have issues that you don't want to get fixed because you think everything's supposed to revolve around you. You're self-centered. You don't see men as people. You see them as pets. You see them as servants. You look at a man and you automatically think that that is supposed to be the one that's doing everything for you so that you can sit there on your pretty little ass and not do a goddamn thing for yourself. And the moment that you're expected to get up and do something for yourself, you're like, what the? I have to pay my own bill. What do you mean I have to buy my own food? What do you mean? Are you broke? Are you broke? Do you not have money? Because there's a reason that men are always saying, hey, yeah, women use us for money, because some of you do. So when you see me coming online saying, hey, I actually give a fuck about men's mental health because I saw my brother kill himself when he was 6 and I saw my ex-boyfriend kill himself in front of me when I was 18. And I've also watched my dad struggle with mental health his entire life. He's told me several times that he would have himself years ago if he didn't have me and my siblings. My boyfriend now, he struggles with mental health so bad, and I've helped him understand you're allowed to feel, you're allowed to think for yourself, you're allowed to cry. Okay, so I understand the men that are struggling. I understand that because I see it, and I actually give a fuck about other people. You know, I have a heart, which some of you women don't have, which is why you're mad at me. And genuinely bothered, offended, and triggered over hearing another woman say, hey, I don't hate all men. I don't hate all men. And in fact, I think a lot of men are very great people. I think a lot of men deserve trophies for just being good people. People, human beings. Stop caring. Oh, well, you're a man, so I don't trust you. You're probably a rapist. You're probably all these things. Automatically assuming something that terrible about someone because of what the you went through, what the you won't get over or heal from yourself is so ignorant, and you're no better than everyone else that is treating this world terribly because of what they look like, because of their skin, their hair, their disabilities, their age. Because some of you same women love to talk about, you know, rights for everyone, but God forbid a man does anything, and you're like, I don't trust men, I just hate them. You're allowed to hate men. But you are not allowed to hate an entire group of people that you don't even know individually just because of your own trauma or because of your own issues. Get the over yourself.
Malika Pizarro said, my late husband passed from battling mental illnesses, and even when he was not the nicest to me, I would still always fight and be vocal for men's mental health. I had front row seats to the suffering, and I was the one to find him. Some people will only feel empathy when it happens to them. Sadly, but true. Men are still humans and have emotions. Sorry about that. My condolences.
You thought that you've been hurt by a man before? Have you ever had someone tell you straight up that you're not enough for them and that they're not attracted to you enough to be with you? And that not once in the 7 months that you guys have been dating has he looked at you and thought like, wow, and like then compares you to his 2 ex-girlfriends and says like, oh, but like I don't want to feel like I wanted to them. That's so cool. And then like completely just fucking rips you to shreds and judges like every single thing about you and like your like choices that you've made to like survive, even though he's been like super supportive of that the entire time and even like encouraged you to do it, and then says like, oh, well, I just have too many expectations of women and like you're not meeting them. Cool. That's so cool. And then says like, oh, well, like it's not like a total loss that we've been doing this for like 7 months because like you've actually like started to look like a woman and like started to take care of yourself, even though like you've been like on this self-confidence journey since you've had to like lose like over 100 pounds and like yeah, this is so cool. And he was like, oh, well, like, honestly, I've just been, like, playing a part because, like, it's so comfortable to be around you, and, like, that's why I don't want to, like, lose you. And he's like, obviously, like, I want to still hang out with you, and, like, I still like you, but, like, I don't see, like, a future with you. And I was like, cool. This would have been really cool to know, like, months ago. So you just feel like, obviously, like, not good enough, but also, like, lied to, which is, like, so cool. And then, like, in the conversation, like, in the breakup conversation is literally, like, well, like, do you even want to have kids? And he's like, well, because, like, I want to have kids, and that, like, is gonna affect everything. I was like, what does it even matter if you're just sitting here telling me that, like, I'm not enough for you, like, the entire time, and then you're gonna be like, oh, this is about kids? What? And he's like, oh, well, like, what do you want? You just like want to like move in with me and date me, and then like one day I wake up next to you and like you're just not enough, and like I just want to go with someone else. And like he's like, how is that gonna feel for you? And I was like, you're honestly just a piece of like, and he's telling me, he's like, oh, well, like out of respect for you, like I haven't been like actively with other people, but I think about it all the time. Cool. That's so sick. Like mad respect, bro, that like you've been dating me and with me for 7 months, and oh, but I did it with other people, even though that's all I think about all the time. Anyways, just crashing out like a lot.
I think you blew up on that man. I'm not saying that he should have said all the things that he said, but I think y'all were having a discussion and you're not letting us know what you said in the discussion. Right now, it's entirely possible that he just, for 7 months, wasn't saying any of that. He just going along with the flow and he just being a jerk. He's just a jerk. It's entirely possible. But I think you said something to that man. I think y'all were in a discussion, a heated discussion, a back and forth. Like maybe he didn't do something, or maybe he didn't say something that you wanted him to say, or he wasn't acting like you wanted him to act. And then you got frustrated after so long of him not doing what you wanted him to do or responding like you wanted him to respond. So you pushed and pushed and pushed. And that's when he gave you that answer. And it doesn't sound like he's being over the top with it. He's just being direct, blunt. He's talking to you like he would talk to one of his friends. Honestly, bro, if this wasn't this, that's how men talk to each other. Honestly, bro, if this wasn't this, if it was like that, then I would have been done X, Y, and Z. I'm just doing it over here for X, Y, and Z. Yep. That's what that sounds like. Once again, I ain't trying to condone what he said. I think there are better ways for him to say that. I think if he actually truly felt that way, he could have just bowed out gracefully, a lot more gracefully than that, and not destroy somebody's self-confidence and self-esteem. But I would like to know exactly how the conversation went. Exhibit A. I am over at a boy's house. Should I rob him? Oh, woe is me. Feel sorry for me. Even some of the hashtags here. He fumbled. Why did he fumble? He didn't want to be with you. Hot girls don't chase. Baddie breakdown. Sad but hot. Soft block season. Hot girl heartbreak. Main character energy. Drama talk. Blocked and booked. I can do better. Maybe so, but how is he fumbling if the man doesn't want you?
Y'all ever seen two? Oh, y'all ever seen two men in an elevator?
In the comments, nope. Another comment, nope. Another comment. Let me know when they're there. Y'all probably too focused on yourselves doing weird stuff. And then when the man wasn't really on that type of time, you got up in his face and the man let you know exactly what type of time he was on. Now, I give it to you. It looks like you take care of your face, your hair, eyebrows done. I see you got a little bit of makeup on. I give you credit for that. Try to make yourself look nice. And I know, you know, with the whole weight loss journey, it probably took you a while to get where you are with your self-confidence. And somebody saying that is really, and honestly, somebody that you've been in a relationship with for 7 months that is supposed to really actually like you. After 7 months, for you to hear that is definitely a gut punch. It's definitely something that knocks you down a peg. And like I said, I don't think that he should have said it like that. I don't think he probably should have said anything in reference to that or like that. I think he probably should have just kind of kept that to himself and said, hey, I just don't feel like we're going in the same direction. I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and I think we should go our separate ways, and that's it, and going about your business. But, you know, I think there was probably a little bit more of a discussion than you're letting on, and some things were said that we don't know about.
Here's what you don't understand about women, okay? Women, we are emotional creatures. We fall in love based on how we feel with this person, how they make us feel. So if we have a good time, or, you know, if this person's funny, if I trust this person, if he treats me good, like, these are all factors of what makes a woman fall in love with a guy. This is why you see a lot of couples where, you know, maybe there's a beautiful girl and the guy is pretty average, but he ends up getting this girl because maybe they had a really good time and she really liked his personality. So that's the thing, women mainly focus on their personality way more than their physical appearance, but then other factors come into play as well. However, that's the thing about the friend zone thing. If you come off too strong, a girl doesn't really like you right off the bat, unless you are above average. Like if you are top model status, then yeah, you can get away with this. I mean, there are guys who are confident because they know they're really good looking and they know that they will probably have that success. But if you're average, let's face it, most of us are average. You can't just do that. You can't just jump into it. So if you really want to get this person, you have to go another route, which will be her falling for your personality and who you are. And the best way is having that friend zone. But of course, you don't want to wait too long. If she makes you wait too long and there's nothing growing, then yeah, move on and talk to someone else. But sometimes it does take women a long time to develop feelings. You develop feelings over time. And that's the thing. Sometimes guys don't want to wait. They want things like this. So they don't give time for a girl to really fall in love with you. Because let me tell you my story. My last ex, when he first talked to me, I did not like him at all. I was not attracted to him. But that's because I was emotionally attached to someone else. Later on, through time, like it just switched off. I stopped liking the guy that I was emotionally attached to, and I fell hard, like so hard. I fell madly in love, and I would have never thought. So that goes to show that falling in love and having feelings for someone, it takes time. Especially if you're already emotionally invested in someone, because women can only be emotionally invested in one person. Yes, you can have multiple sometimes, but like there's always at least your main one. There's always one that is on top of the others.
And let's circle back around to what the original commenter said. No offense, but this is why women cannot give advice on getting women. Your way will put guys in the friend zone more than anything. Guys need to establish he likes you from the jump. You make my point with your example of Gym Dude. You have no idea if he even likes you because he didn't do that. I don't know what they were talking about, but back to his point, the advice that you're giving is trash. Quite frankly, honestly, it's trash. It's garbage. And I'll tell you why. You're wanting that man to just chill out. I like this guy right now, but in maybe like a month or 2 or 6, whenever he gives me the ick, then I'll start liking you. Maybe. But, just kind of, until then, just kind of hang out, talk to me, take me out on dates, show me, essentially, prove to me that you're better than the guy that I have an emotional attachment to. I don't know why you have an emotional attachment to him. Maybe he was your ex-boyfriend. Maybe you have a crush on the guy. Who knows? Men don't care, and men shouldn't care. If your mind is not made up, it's not going to be a man's job to sit up here and change your mind. Now I can see a man coming up, hey, let me buy you lunch. He said, okay. And y'all are sitting there and you're giving him an actual chance. But to be sitting there saying, you know what? Thank you for taking me out to lunch, but I still like this guy over here. But, you kind of hang around and, we'll see how things go. If I like you, then, it'll be great. But if not, then you can move on and find somebody else whenever I'm done with you. No, absolutely not.